Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Yoga for You. My name is Casey May, and I am so honored to have you here on your yoga journey practicing with me. This class is going to be just about the basics. So if you've never done yoga before, this is an amazing opportunity to kind of know some of those more traditional poses that you might find if you ever walk into your local studio. We're going to keep it easy, we're going to keep it fun, we're going to keep it lighthearted, but most importantly, we're going to keep this all about you. We're going to start off today's class in a mountain pose. So mountain pose is just another way to say standing. We want to make sure that our feet are hip-width distance apart, so right underneath your hips. If you want to come to the top of your mat, I have mine long ways, but when I say top of your mat, I just mean up at the short edge. So, standing there, nice and tall, really rooting down into your feet, making sure that tailbone is dropped. We want to squeeze the glutes gently, like we're standing, just like a tall mountain. So just breathing here, maybe you close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, inhaling through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Doing that a few more times. As you continue to breathe, just allow yourself to become present. So coming into the space that you're practicing today, noticing the sounds, the smells, the air, taking it all in. Reminding yourself to stay focused, stay present throughout your practice. One more full breath. As you exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Beautiful. Blinking those eyes back open. You're just rocking back and forth, feeling the earth beneath your feet. We're going to start to just roll out our wrists, so making some gentle circles. You can keep rocking back and forth, or maybe just stay still. Just make some gentle movements, noticing how the wrists are feeling today. In yoga, we use a lot of our poses do tend to put some impact on our wrists. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of them, being gentle towards them, showing them a little extra love. Once you feel complete with that, as we inhale, we'll reach the arms up overhead. So still pressing down into the feet, reaching through the fingertips, tall mountain pose. So imagine you're reaching for something above you, pressing down into your feet. And as you exhale, we're going to take a big swan dive down, leading with our heart. As you inhale, we're going to come up halfway, flat back, making the spine long. And then exhale, forward fold. So keeping a slight bend in the knees here. Release your head, release the neck, release the shoulders. Let everything hang heavy. You can shake your head yes and no, or maybe grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. Whatever helps you feel a little release here. Coming back to neutral, we're going to press back down into those feet, begin to unfold, going slow, coming back to that mountain pose, standing tall here. Reach those arms up overhead. We're grabbing hold of the right wrist with our left hand, reaching up and over. Nice job. So you should feel a really good stretch in your side body here. Just make sure that your shoulders and your hips are square to the front of the room. So sometimes I know I even have a tendency to lean backwards in this pose. So if you feel your body doing that, just give yourself a gentle shift forward. Inhale, coming back up, reaching through those fingertips, switching your grip, reaching up and over to the other side. Nice side body stretch. Beautiful. Inhale, back up. Reach through those fingertips, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive down. Leading with the heart. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Just hanging heavy here, releasing, and then planting those palms. I'm coming up to the top of my mat. Planting those palms down on your mat. We're gonna step back into a high plank. So you always have the option in high plank to drop the knees down. So we're either here or here. Just holding for one breath. And then exhale, let's push the hips back, downward dog. So we're making an upside down V shape with the body. You might notice that the legs feel a little tight, especially if this is your first down dog of the day. So taking a moment to just pedal out the feet, bending those knees. Maybe you shift the hips side to side, still pressing down into our palms, focusing on sending those hips back, pressing down through the heels. Taking in a few more breaths here. On your next exhale, let's drop those knees down to the mat, sending the hips back for a child's pose. Breathing here for a moment. In child's pose, you have a couple of options. So you can keep your knees farther apart, walking the hands out, forehead resting on the mat. You can also have the knees closer together, even touching. Same thing, walking those hands out. Resting the forehead on the mat. You can also have the arms down by your sides. And of course, my favorite option, you can bring the palms to touch at the base of the neck. So just breathing in your child's pose, hanging out here for a moment. Forehead is still resting down on the mat. I'm just going to guide you through some breathing, helping you to focus on the body. So as you rest in your child's pose, taking notice of how the hips feel, how the back feels, how the shoulder feels. We're surrendering our heart down towards the earth, letting go, anything that we cannot change, cannot control. Let's take a few more breaths here in our child's pose, knowing that this pose is always available for you. If at any time throughout our practice you feel that you need to take a breather, please go ahead and take your child's pose. Remembering that this practice is all about you, your body. Meeting back in that child's pose, let's start to walk the hands back in towards the body. I'm going to turn to face you all. So sitting back on the heels, if this doesn't feel comfortable, if it's too much for the knees or the hips, you can always take just an easy seated pose. So wherever you might find yourself, let's inhale, reaching those arms up high, pressing down into the sits bones, reaching through the fingertips. And then exhale, bring that left palm down to the mat. Inhale the right arm up and over. So just another side body stretch, breathing into this side. Inhale, coming back up, reaching through those fingertips. Exhale, over to the opposite. Beautiful work. Inhale, coming back up, reach, reach, reach through those fingers. And as you exhale, we're going to twist to the right, bringing the hands down on either side of you. So you want to keep the spine nice and tall here. And then if it feels okay with the neck, maybe take your gaze back behind you. Inhaling back up. And exhale, twisting to the opposite side. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. And exhale, twist. Inhale, reaching up high. Exhale, let's bring the hands down to the mat. We're making our way into a tabletop position. So the hands are going to be directly below the shoulders. Knees are hip-width distance apart. So just like a table here, imagine that the back is so straight here, we could set a glass of water on top and it wouldn't fall. So on your next inhale, let's drop the belly down, gaze up at the ceiling, cow pose. As you exhale, press the earth away from you, round the back for cats, looking down between the knees. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Taking this a few more times, using your breath to guide you. Inhaling to cow. And exhaling to cat. You can start to add in other little movements here. Maybe shifting the hips side to side, or taking some big circles with the body. Whatever helps you wake up the spine. We'll meet back at that neutral tabletop. Curl the toes underneath. Send those hips up and back, down dog. So the same thing as before, our body is in that upside down V shape. We're pressing down into the palms, sending those hips back, pressing down through the heels.
So it's not important to get the heels to touch the ground. In fact, I would rather you have a bend in your knees. Pressing into those palms, fingertips are spread wide. 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, we're going to start to walk the feet up to meet the hands. Coming up halfway, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Releasing the head, the neck, the shoulders, maybe swaying side to side, whatever feels good. And then coming back to neutral, we'll press down into the feet, rising all the way up, reaching through your fingertips, reach, reach, reach. Pressing into the feet, dropping that tailbone. We're going to interlace the fingers into temple, so our fingertips are pointed towards the ceiling. And then sending the hips forward, lift the heart. Just a gentle back bend. And if this doesn't feel okay, you can always just stay here. So wherever you are, we're taking 3 full breaths. Elbows are by the ears. We're lifting the heart, pressing down into the feet. Coming back to neutral, pressing down. Unlace those fingertips and then bring the arms down and out in front of you. Take a quick glance down at your feet. Make sure they're about hip width distance apart. And then when you're ready, bending the knees, send the hips back for a chair pose. So the most important part of this pose is to keep the chest lifted and the tailbone dropped. Take a quick glance down at the toes. Make sure you can still see them peeking out from under the knees. If you can't, then just come out of the pose slightly. If you can see them, maybe you sink a little deeper. Arms can stay out in front of you or in prayer position. Let's take 3 full breaths here. Beautiful work. Pressing into those feet, reach those arms up high, coming back to our tall mountain. Standing tall and strong here. Pressing into those feet, squeezing the glutes. One more big inhale. And then exhale, bring the palms to touch. Diving back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Make the spine long. Exhale, fold. Releasing the head, the neck, the shoulders. Letting go. Let's slowly start to unfold 1 vertebrae at a time. So you should feel kind of like a zombie coming to life here. Head is the last thing to come up. Meeting in that tall mountain pose. Reaching the arms up high, reach, reach, reach. Maybe you take another mini back bend, sending those hips forward, lifting the heart. Maybe you just stay here. Inhale. Exhale, let's meet back in neutral. Lower those arms down. Beautiful work. All right, so let's place the hands on the hips. We're going to meet at the top of our mat. Feet hip width distance apart. Standing tall here, dropping the tailbone, squeezing the glutes. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to take a big step back with the right foot. meeting in a crescent lunge. So for crescent lunge, our back heel is lifted. We're pressing down into our left foot. Our thigh is approaching parallel to the ground. And then we're gonna reach those arms up high. I have this wall here. So reaching, reaching, reaching. Pressing into our feet. You should feel like you could rip your yoga mat apart with your feet. That's how hard you should be pressing down. So reaching through the fingertips. Let's take 3 full breaths here. And if at any point you need to drop the back knee down, that's always available for you. So wherever you are, here or here, focusing on the body, focusing on your breath. Let's bring those palms together and down through heart center. And then stepping the back foot up to meet at the top of your mat. Nice work. Let's bring those arms down. Shake it out a little bit. Whew. We have one more side to do. So those hands can go back on your hips. Standing nice and tall. Inhale here. Exhale, take a big step back with that left foot. Crescent lunge. Back heel, back heel is lifted. We're pressing down through the right foot. Reach those arms up high. Pressing into the feet, reaching through the fingertips. 3 more breaths. Beautiful work. Let's bring those palms together down through heart center. And then placing the hands on the hips. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Shake it out. All right, beautiful work, everyone. We're going to do some balancing poses. Well, actually just one balancing pose. We're gonna work on tree pose today. We're going to start with our feet hip width distance apart, standing tall, and then placing your weight into your left foot. So just shifting that weight over to the left. We're gonna bring the right foot right to the ankle, or the left ankle. So your right foot can be here. It can be up a little bit higher, right below the knee, or it can be up above the knee. Basically anywhere on your leg except for the knee. So once you've found the spot where you feel like you can balance, here, here, or here, we're gonna bring the palms together at the heart. So pressing down into that left foot, standing nice and tall wherever you are, focusing on a point in front of you that isn't moving. So once you've found your point, once you've found your balance, continue to breathe, and maybe you grow your branches. And if you fall out of the pose for some reason, just get right back in. If any negative self-talk starts to come up, as you exhale, just let it go. Remind yourself that you're here, you're doing something for you, and that is amazing. One more breath wherever you are. Maybe your tree is blowing in the wind like mine is. And as you exhale, let's bring those palms together down through heart center. Release the right foot, shake it out. Beautiful. We usually have one side that tends to cooperate a little bit better in balanced poses. So maybe that was your side, or maybe if you're like me, your other side might be a little bit more balanced today. I say that now, watch me fall. All right, so just checking in with the body. Feet are hip width distance apart, shifting the weight into the right leg this time. Bringing that left foot either to the ankle, right below the knee or right above the knee. Ooh. So finding your balance, pressing down into that right leg, will bring the palms together at the heart. Use your breath. On your inhale, maybe you start to grow your branches. Still pressing down into that right foot. Beautiful work. Let's take 2 more breaths wherever you are. Bringing those palms together and down through heart center. Release the left foot down. Release the arms, shake it out. So you can probably take note of which side is a little bit more balanced today, and tomorrow it might be different. Great job with tree pose. All right, so meeting back at the top of your mat, let's reach those arms up high. Pressing into the feet, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Releasing here. And then planting the palms on your mat. I'm going to come face the other way. We're going to step the feet back, plank pose. So remember, you can stay here or drop the knees down. We're going to hold for just 2 breaths. Squeezing the core, engaging those glutes. And then exhale, everyone drops the knees down. We're going to slowly press the tailbone up towards the ceiling and then lower down. As you inhale, we'll slide forward, lifting the chest, cobra. Exhale, lowering back down. And then pressing up to your downward facing dog. Breathing here, pedaling out the feet, maybe shifting the hips side to side, pushing down into the palms. This is our last down dog of our sequence today. So just noticing how this one might feel compared to that very first one. Making any micro movements or little adjustments. And then bringing the knees down to the mat. Send the hips back for child's pose. Just breathing in your child's pose. Connecting back with your body. Connecting back with your breath. And noticing your mind. We're going to slowly start to walk the hands over to the right side. A nice side body stretch. Exhale back to the middle and then over to the left. Exhaling to center. Let's walk those hands in towards the body. We're going to shift the hips to one side, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Knees are bent, pointed up towards the ceiling. Make sure your chest is lifted here. Spine is straight. Taking in a big breath. And as you exhale, you're going to slowly lower the upper body down on your mat. So allowing the entire spine to come in contact with your mat here. Maybe you rock the knees from side to side. Giving the spine a little twist here. And then coming back to neutral whenever you feel ready. We're going to hug the knees into the chest, giving yourself a big squeeze here. Maybe you rock side to side, massaging out the back. And then finally, option to take a happy baby. So grabbing the outsides of the feet, we're going to open up the hips here. Try to keep the tailbone down towards the mat. You can rock side to side or play with straightening one leg and bending the other. Just noticing how the hips feel. Taking a few full breaths. And whenever you feel complete, bringing the knees back into your chest, give yourself one last hug. Thank yourself for making this time for you today. And then extending the legs out long, the arms out long, making your way into your final resting pose, Shavasana. The light in me honors the light.